My
Have you
laptop's playing
included
up
it
for a
already?
minute. Yeah, I've just done it now.
Sweet. Just so if you don't mind, check on the stream. Just make sure that we're good.
I will do. I'm just trying to get my laptop to work.
Good
But
stuff.
I think we're getting there. It's just taking a really long time for some reason. And then once that's up, I think we've had 2 people for the pre-race interview, so I'll sort that out once my table is up.
Good job. I believe we've got 17 for tonight.
Ooh, that's a very good turnout.
Yeah, tomorrow not so much. But you know, we get to watch all the fun, I guess.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Well, if there's going to be a race to commentate over, I suppose it'd be this one. We should probably work on a more official introduction to the stream than just us starting talking, you know.
Well, we just bring in the
we
human
just bring in,
factor, I
that's
guess.
it, yeah. Yeah, we're good on the stream, so I'll just wait for this table to load up on my laptop, and then we can get started with the interviews, because it's only in like 20 minutes the race ain't, so...
What I'm going to do real quick is, because for the Mercedes that I race with, I used to use offset, and I had the camera centered, but I'm going to change that, because I don't use it anymore. I use TV Pod.
Nah, offset's so much better. I've just once they introduced that, I've not looked back. If I'm honest, just so.
It is good.
Better.
I think it's great for the sense of speed. But
Mm.
what I find with the pod is that I can be a bit more patient, and I because the field of view is smaller, if that makes sense. I know when. It just felt there's more time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's each to different preferences, and I should probably actually try driving a different camera because I've just stuck with that ever since they introduced that in, what was it, it was something like 2015 or 16 or something like that, weren't it? Stupid like that. In fact, it might have been a little bit later than that.
It was 16.
Was it 16?
Yeah.
I've just stuck with that, so I should probably actually try and broaden my horizons, but... Right, we're nearly there. I just need to get this to load, and then I think we'll interview Kurt, and then Matt, and then I think those 2 should take us to about the start of the race, so... Or start of the qualified, shall we say.
Oh dear, I've just messed it up.
Oh yeah, that sounds about you. Sounds about right for you.
Thanks.
Why is this taking about 5 years to load?
Offset, there we go. I was on the wrong one. -1.
Right.
For everyone who's just tuned in, we'll be in the practice lobby in just a moment. I am just setting up the camera settings so it's more bearable for everyone watching. Because I have every car with the correct offset view, except the Mercedes, so it's a bit odd.
Lovely.
So,
brilliant.
Looks like I favour a certain team when I definitely don't.
Ah, you definitely do, mate. Bias is there already.
I'm not really a Mercedes fan. I do like them.
I definitely.
Yes and no.
I'm not even going to deny at this point. I definitely am.
No, I do like them. To be they're one of my favourite teams. Let's say.
Yeah, it's them and I say I've got 3 actually. It's I think Mercedes at the top one, but then McLaren and Williams follow very closely behind. Especially Williams, with it being my last name.
For me, yeah, Williams and Ferrari are special to me, and McLaren, but not really anymore because not.
Right.
Lando's not for me, and Daniel's not comfortable there. So.
Right. I'm gonna quickly nip to the loo whilst this loads, and then we'll start with the interviews. So, 2 seconds.
Cool. So we just got a few drivers out on track for the practice session. Tycho currently leading. Pretty good time, 16.6, but I'm sure that'll be beaten in qualifying. Kurt is here. He's now in the Alpine. He was a reserve, but he's gone full time now, so he'll obviously be one to watch out for. I believe is leading the. Actually, no, he's not leading the standings, but he's not far off leading it. I will get the standings up now. So championship leader is Jet Run, followed by Tycho, and then Kurt. So Kurt is actually joint with Tycho on points, followed by Zig. So Zig's had really solid results so far. P4, P4. He won't be racing today, unfortunately. He's not feeling too great, so we wish him a speedy recovery. And then rest of the standings, we got Kieran Ormi in 5th, who's also not racing. Don't Blink is here. He is 6th in the standings, followed by Matt, who's 7th. Mitch in 8th, Testarossa in 9th, and Kane Prime in 10th, who unfortunately has had to step back for some personal reasons. So I wish him the best for the future. Hopefully we'll see him back on the grid in a few months. On to Slav. Actually, I believe they're setting up the lobby now. So whilst we wait, we're just gonna get. As soon as Ryan's back, we're gonna get some drivers in for some interviews.
My table hasn't loaded still. My laptop is actually dying on me. But we'll start nonetheless.
Don't Blink has beached it. Oh, he's left the game, I think. Yeah, they're just setting up the new lobby now.
Right, so we have 2 pre-race interviews lined up today. One being Kurt and the other being Matt. So we'll get Kurt in first. Let me just double make sure he's ready for the interview.
Yeah, he just got in the pits now, so.
Yeah. Once I get the A-OK, I'll invite him in and we can have a pre-race chat. Obviously, very early season favourite, given how the pace he's shown in the first 2 races, but we'll see how he's feeling about Imola. Quite a difficult track. I've particularly struggled with it in the past, so it'll be interesting to see. Right, so Kurt needs 5 minutes, so we'll see if Matt is ready.
Blink. He can do an interview. Let's just get him in here.
Alright, yeah, if he can do it, 2 get him in, then we'll, yeah. I'll message Matt either.
He hasn't done one before, so he's
that's good
getting
then.
out of the comfort zone.
Right, let's get him in here then. Oh, he's already joined.
Just make sure you include your audio.
Yeah.
You done it?
Well, I can hear him, so that's probably a good shout. Good good thing.
So your audio is included, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Right.
good.
Lovely. Welcome to the booth for, I believe, the first time. I think TB just said, "Don't blink." How are we feeling about the Grand Prix?
We'll see about the weather. I think that's going to be tricky to navigate for this track. But I've been practicing for all weather conditions, so we'll just see how it goes.
How are you feeling particularly about qualifying? I've made a little table of everyone's qualifying so far this season. I think you've qualified 8th and 10th this season so far, and you're averaging a position of 9th. So, feeling a little bit more confident around here?
Yeah, my qualifying this season's been pretty bad, huh? So that's
It
one of
is,
my
yeah, it's
yeah.
not looking great. I expected better from you, I'm not going to lie.
I know. Getting adjusted to a new setup is a struggle. I think qualifying is tricky just because you have to be perfect, and the
Yeah.
speeds on the corners are so much more, right? So it's all about getting those corners, the entry and
How do
through
you
and exit just nailed down, and it's hard to do on the wheel, on a new wheel and stuff.
Do you
So
think? Yeah. Do you think it's going to be especially difficult around this track? Because, like you say, making sure you get very precise in corner entry and exits, I think, is very imperative around these curbs around here. You think you're going to struggle a little bit here, or are you looking
I
forward
think
to it?
I think my qualifying for this track has been pretty consistent. I'm looking at getting a 116.3 on
Yeah,
dry. That's about where I'll
that's a
be.
good time. Yeah, no, that's a good sign.
I've nailed that almost every practice I've had, so that's the goal.
Oh, right.
For wet,
Right.
I don't know the number, but
Hmm.
it's a little trickier.
Right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Have you got anything else to add, TB?
Um, yeah, I mean, obviously we personally spoke about the setup that you were gonna run. I wouldn't say what, but are you gonna run that setup, or have you changed your mind on it?
I'm like I said, I make a couple tweaks. So if it's really sunny out, track's hot, I'm gonna lower the wings because it keeps those tire temps where I want them to be. If it's cloudy, I might keep it about the same, maybe a little bit lower. And then if it rains, of course, I'm gonna turn those wings up, get a little more grip in the corners. That's kind of how I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
And if it's a
Okay.
mix, somewhere in between, gotta find that sweet spot.
Right.
Okay.
That's good insight there. That's good insight there.
Yeah.
Hey,
But you
uh,
might see me getting passed on the straights because I'm gonna be running a little bit higher wings than most. So
well,
we'll
you'll
see.
just make it back in the corners, won't you? So it'll be
Exactly.
fine. It'll be fine. That's the hope, anyway. Well, it's been lovely to speak to you. Don't blink. I shall wish you luck for the race. And hopefully we get to speak to you a little bit later in the podium interviews.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys have fun, and we'll talk soon.
Oh, we'll have a ball. We always have a ball up here.
Yeah,
We'll be
sounds
enjoying
like it.
ourselves.
I
Don't
think you
worry.
guys have a little thing going on between the two of you.
We've not talked about that yet. It's a slow burner. Slow burner.
All right. We'll get to it later in the season then, huh?
That's it, exactly. It's going to blossom, don't you worry. You just keep watching.
All right. Later, guys.
Right. See you
Yeah,
later.
good luck, mate.
Cheers, good luck. Right.
No idea what's going on with the lobby, because
Yeah, have I seen another lobby's just gone up?
they are sending invites out once again.
Right, well, I think...
Just give me one moment.
Yeah, no problem. I'll get Matt in here, because I think he's ready for an
Wait,
interview.
don't. Do you remember last time? He left before I even got a chance to say anything.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Yeah, thank you very much. Right, I'll hold on. I'll hold out then.
Yeah, I'll be literally 1 minute.
Yeah, no worries. Right, I think we are...
Right, I have returned.
He has returned.
Just joined the
I was
party,
about
actually.
to say... I think Saskia joined the party?
Yeah, I don't think he's got a mic. I think he needs an invite. Because we had this problem last time.
Oh, right.
In
Let me see if
to
I
the
can...
new crossplay option.
Right, I'll invite him to a game, and then I think once he's in,
I've got him added on the EA, but I don't know how to. Yeah, there's no option for me to invite him.
Well, I think I've just invited him. I think, hopefully.
Like through the game, if you know what I mean.
Oh, not through the actual. Oh, right.
Yeah, because of the new crossplay thing, you can. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's shit because you can't invite anyone. So what's the point of having
I was
them
about
added?
to say, so that seems a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
backwards.
Oh, I've got a friend, but I can't play with him.
Right, like, yeah, like, that is just completely the opposite point of crossplay. Like, that's not. Right, well,
Husky, I would. Sorry, I was just gonna say, Husky, I would recommend messaging Hammy. Try and get them to like open the lobby or something, and then go from there.
yeah, 'cause they'll be the ones with
Um,
the settings, won't they?
yeah. Make sure Ryan goes spectator. Yeah, he's fine. Sorry, Blink just messaged me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Shall we? We're running a little bit close to time for 2 interviews, so shall we get Matt in here whilst
get him
this
in,
is
get him in.
all sorted out? Right. Right, we'll wait for Matt to join us, get his insight, and then hopefully should have time to squeeze Kurt in as well.
Here he is.
Here he is, the
Man of
man
the hour.
himself. Make sure you have your audio turned on, Matt, so we can hear you.
Yep, it's on.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff.
He knows the drill.
He knows the drill. He knows the
Yeah,
drill. Right. How are we feeling about Imola then? Are we confident?
No.
Okay, right.
I
Tell them
still
how it
can't
is.
get used to the traction, whatever
Mm.
whatever they changed to the traction. I just can't get used to it. I did about 20 laps last night where I felt just fine, but out of nowhere, I'm struggling.
Right, well, I'm looking at your previous. Obviously, we've only had 2 qualifying rounds, so it doesn't really paint a good picture. But I see you've qualified 4th and 5th so far this year. So, do we think we're going to be aiming for something similar? Is that where you think you're going to end up, or are you thinking to be a little bit lower with your lack of confidence?
As long as I don't spin out, I think I'll be up there. I think I'm like the top 3 or 4 in the league in time trials,
Mhm.
so feel pretty good on the 1 lap. It's just actually doing that lap without spinning that's my issue right now.
Okay.
Hmm.
And how do you think the weather will come into play? We had Don't Blink in it just before saying that he thinks the weather could play an important factor. Are you hoping for a particular time? Are you hoping it to be dry, wet? What do you think will suit you?
Probably the dry because there's a smaller chance of me spinning out and crashing. But
Okay, that's fair. No, that's
I
fair.
did some laps in the wet. It's actually not that bad around here, so I really wouldn't mind. It was wet in Australia. I got P3, so maybe the same thing will happen today.
Mhm. Okay, that's good. That's good. Are we wanting to add anything on TV?
Yeah, just going back to what you said about spinning, Matt. Where is that? Just in general, or any corners in particular that you're struggling with?
It could be any corner. I guess it's just it happens sort of thing. And the weird thing is, I don't see it coming. The car just goes around on its own, and that's all she wrote. I'm not used to the way the traction is in this game, as I'm sure you guys know. I'm an iRacing diehard, so it's kind of
Yeah.
if you want me to
You've let the
be
world know now.
Yeah, that's it. He's
if you want me to
international
be
now.
completely
Secrets out.
realistic, and it's kind of a hot take, I'm just not used to the arcadish nature of this game.
Yeah.
I'm used to it being
A bit more of
or-
a simulator type
yeah, I'm used
handling
to
model.
yeah, this if you want me to be completely honest, it's night and day difference, and that's quite horrible if you want me to be honest, but I'm not going to harp on it too much, but we'll see what we can do today.
Well, I shall wish you luck. I have high hopes for you. You have been consistent in terms of where your pace has been. So I reckon, yeah, if you can keep it clean, you should be on for a good result. But I shall wish you luck, all the best, anyway.
Awesome.
And yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
hopefully we'll speak to you later in the podium interviews.
Thank you, guys.
Not a problem.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
Right, we'll quickly get Kurt in here before the session starts. Is he in the lobby? He is.
We're missing a few people. Husky's struggling to get in. Thanks, EA.
Yeah, the crossplay working as good as ever.
Believe we're missing. I don't know who we're missing actually. Mitch.
Quite possible. I think we might have one or two more people still to join. But while we're waiting, we'll have a lovely chat with the man who seems to be on form at the minute. Kurt, welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
Can we hear you? Yeah, your audio included.
Yeah.
Right, lovely stuff. I think it's no secret really that you seem to be the man to be, grabbing 2 poles and a win. How are we feeling for Imola? Is it very much going to be the same thing, or do you reckon you might struggle? What are you feeling heading into the weekend?
I don't know. Imola's like my worst track. I'm just trash. And we have Reese's Pieces is back, and my
Yes.
finishing rate with Reese's Pieces in the lobby is 0%. So that doesn't bode well.
That's what I was just about to ask you about. Obviously, yes, we do have Slav returning for this weekend after he missed Bahrain. Obviously, seems to be very similarly paced with you, but obviously you did have that incident in Australia. Do you think you'll be able to avoid each other this time round and both race to the finish?
Well, I'm just hoping to be so far in the lead that he's no consideration for me. So
We
Yeah.
don't have any doubts about that. We don't have any
Wow.
doubts. To be fair,
Talk there.
yeah, there's a lot of big talk, and as I said, he's definitely shown the pace to back it up. Is there anything? What about the characteristics of this track? It's quite fast paced, but quite a lot of slow mechanical corners as well. Is it sort of suiting your driving style, or?
no, I like to spin at this track quite a lot. So I'm not feeling very confident. I really hope
Just
for
this
rain.
track.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
TB, do we have any additional questions? Or
Nah, I think he's
you've heard enough of him already.
he said a lot. Yeah, we'll see if it's all talk or not.
Of course not.
Well, it is
Of
going
course
to be
Uh,
interesting. It is going to be interesting. As I said, you've grabbed both poles this season, so looking to make it a hat trick. We'll see if the weather does indeed come into play. How are we feeling if there's a little bit of rain in the air? Is that going to play into your advantage? Do you think?
not. Yeah. I think it'll make me less worse because it'll slow the track down. So that'll be helpful for me. So
Can't argue with that logic. But either way, I think we'll wish you luck because I think the session is not too long from starting. So yeah, wish you luck and hopefully
I
we
was
get
going
to
to add
speak
something
to you.
actually.
Oh, go on then. Go on then.
It's
I'm
not
not
a
stop you.
question, but it's a statement.
All right.
Oh.
If he can get in here, mine and Ryan's rival from last season. Well, more just Ryan's rival.
right, right, okay.
SSR Husky.
Yeah.
If he is in here, I don't think you've raced him, Kurt. But I will say you might have another target on your back. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, be sure to look out. He is incredibly, much like you, very, very, very quick, but might be prone to a mistake or two. So we'll have to see how that develops. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be so confident with Husky racing if he is able to race. Let's just put it that way.
I hope he can race, but EA said
I really do.
otherwise.
I really do, because it'll. Yeah, he is a very good, clean racer. So, all the more reason to tune in and watch. But I think we are very close against us. So we'll let you go, Kurt. Again, good luck, and hopefully we'll speak to you later.
See ya.
Yeah, good luck.
See you later. Right. So I think we're starting at 14. Is that right? I'm assuming.
We should. No. We've got Mitch joining. Who else? Is Rouse in here? Yeah, he is. Yeah, Mitch and hopefully Husky, but
Yeah. What are we saying on a Husky's situation? Is there any hope?
I don't know.
I think it'll just have to be.
Maybe
just see if
everyone
we
has
can-
to enable crossplay.
Oh yeah, you think that might be it? Could possibly be.
Well, no, but it's a possible thing. I don't know why I can't invite him. It's just pointless. You can click on. I can click on his name, but there's no option to invite him.
I did invite him earlier, but that was through the actual Xbox
yeah.
rather than the game.
I'll try and send him another one.
Let me try and.
Tycho. So I think
I don't even have Husky as a friend. That is quite depressing, actually. I thought I did. It will be.
looking up.
Yeah, it will be very good if Husky can drive, because as we were alluding to earlier, we know him to be a very, very quick driver. So maybe someone just to be up there with Kurt and Slav in terms of pace. But will it looks like we may not be so lucky. I think we're just having a little word with him now.
We still gotta wait for Mitch, who's on his way.
Yes. Oh, now Mitch can't join the session. Oh, don't you love technical difficulty?
Okay, Husky, I don't know if you're listening. Hammy's just opening the lobby real quick. Oh, we got F2 cars, let's go.
Oh, go on. That'll spice up the.
Wouldn't that be a turn?
That'll be a turn up. Just a turning up to the grid in an F2 car. That'll be that'll be very interesting.
Right, let me just ping Husky. I'll send him another invite. We can get him in here.
We have to believe.
Error Mitch went live, so Mitch also streaming, but he's not in the game. So I will invite him. Wherever he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's in, never mind.
There we are. So that's one.
Yep. Husky's just gonna have to keep refresh. Excuse me. Refresh. Oh, he's in. I think.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, he is in. He is in.
That just makes things ever so much
the
better.
emojis popping off in the chat. He is in. That should be a very interesting front of the grid now. We are putting a lot of pressure on him, so if he doesn't perform, this is going to be very anticlimactic.
No. We know what he's like.
We need to get rid of this brown.
We had a scrap here
No,
yesterday.
we need to get. Hang on.
Who's this?
This random. There we are. I think. Nope, he's in the Ferrari. Nope. There we go. That's sorted. Go on then. I was rudely interrupted you there. What did you say? You were battling with him or something?
Yeah, no, we did some short races yesterday. Quali, it was me, Slav, and Husky. Quali, he was a few tenths off, but in the race, he had a few spins, but obviously we weren't going full throttle.
Yeah.
But we had some good racing, to be honest. I like these cars to an extent because you can just stick with people, which is
Yes.
which is great.
Yeah, no, that is something that obviously we're seeing it in the real life F1, but also in this game as well. Dirty Air has always been there's always been an issue with it in previous games, but in this one it just doesn't seem to be the case. You can really stick with the person in front, making racing a lot easier. So, and I think we have seen a few examples of that already in the first two races. So, hopefully, on a track like Imola, which it's not the best for overtaking. There's only one real main opportunity, and that's down into the first corner. Hopefully, we'll see the advantages of the new regulations with these cars being able to follow so closely. So it should make for a compelling race now that, as you say, we've got quite a battle at the front, and then also throughout the midfield and towards the rear should be quite close. But I think we're just loading in now.
I think to be realistic with it, because Husky's obviously said he's not sure on the pace. I have no doubt that he can be up there, but I think I'd put him top 4, just behind Kurt, Slav and Jet at the moment. But Imola previously has been a good track for him. We had a good battle 2 seasons ago, actually, now. And he won the race. Yeah, I got pole and he just ran away with it. So
well, I'll gloss over that.
He's welcome to do that here because I'm not racing. So.
You're up here with me, so hey ho. We've got to keep in mind, though, obviously we did have Kurt in the pre-race interviews. Didn't sound all too confident. So I think Slav, obviously having missed that race in Bahrain, going to want to try go out there, prove a point. I do know that he does like Imola. So I am almost tempted to say Slav might just be Slav in the Mercedes. I might be tempted to say he might just be, for me anyway, the favourite going into this session, but we'll see. With how Kurt sounded in the pre-race interviews, he did not feel ready for this qualifying session, which looks to be dry. A little bit cloudy.
No. It's going to be raining in 10 minutes. Apparently.
It's going to be raining in 10 minutes. So starting off track, so these laps that the drivers are going to do right now will be imperative. Need to make sure we cut out any mistakes and get it right first time. Someone I also, have, I think we all glossed over, is Jet. Obviously, he's going to be racing.
Yes.
His qualifying this season, a 3rd place in Austria and a 2nd place in Bahrain. So
Australia, I think you mean.
Australia, that is correct. It's because I have it as AUS on, and I've just instantly gone Austria. Sorry, it is Australia. You are correct. 3rd and a 2nd. So obviously, still very good with pace wise. He could be one to look out for, definitely.
Just on board with Tycho going into the first corner.
Let's
lap.
Let's have a look.
Do a
little bit of commentary, not a problem. So let me get properly on board with him. Right, so just coming out at the end of the first sector. I am messing my UDI up here real bad. Hang on. Right. There we go. Right, yeah, so coming up to the fast left hand in, now coming up to Acqua Minerale, and he has invalidated. Brilliant. Great timing as always. Go on
board
board
with Husky, who's on a
with
lap.
Husky, rightio. Let's have a look. So, yeah, so he's coming to the chicane. So he hasn't invalidated yet. So he has gone purple. I believe he's probably the only first person to actually go through this. That's probably why. But yeah, coming up to the final couple of corners now. Chuck it to the right hand side, make sure you have a wide entry going in, get on the power early but not too early, quite very easy to lose the rear. Last corner comes up so quickly. Keep to the right hand side to try and shorten the distance to the finishing line, and it is a 1:16.5, which I must say, for a first lap time round, isn't too bad. But Kurt immediately betters that with a 1:15.8. Wow. Wow, to say he weren't confident, I mean, wow, that is amazing from him, to be fair. Yeah, I think Husky will be trying to go at least, well, very better with that, as Jet slots into P3 just behind him. Got a lot of people crossing the line at the minute, so let's try and keep up to date. I think Slav is a 1:16.6, so he's only in 4th place. Don't Blink, I think, has put a lap time in. Goes into 5th with the 1:16.7, so very close, apart from Kurt out in front. From Husky,
Second, third, and fourth.
Second. Yeah, very, very close
All
indeed.
within half a tenth.
As people continue to get the laps in, I think Tychopath, who's on his second run after he invalidated. Let's see where this puts him. I don't think he's setting any purple sectors, so I don't think he'll be able to fail. I think most people will struggle with back time of Kurt's, but always been qualifying around 4th and 5th has Tycho this season, so we'll see if he can mix it amongst those places for the time being, especially with the threat of rain looming over their heads. As Zig goes into 9th place and Tycho goes to P3. Great lap from
Very
Tycho.
close.
Very, very close to that from between Husky and Tycho. A few thousandths of a second. But to say that it was his second run on those set of tyres, very, very good time indeed. I think Legendary Louis has just gone into P7, I think. And Slav has just gone into second as well with a 1:16.5.
Wow.
So, wow, look how close it is from Slav in second down to Tycho. Not even a tenth in it, and that's between second, third, and fourth. But even if you stretch it down to, I mean, maybe even Glenn. I mean, from Slav to Glenn, there's only 4/10 in it, so very, very close for the time being.
Just on board with Mitch now, he's on a lap. Just finished the first sector.
Right, yo, I'm going to stick on board with Echo as he crosses the line. Where does this lap put
Oh,
him?
the rain's here.
Oh, there's the rain here.
The rain
Oh,
is here.
This is not
This
going to
could
be
be it.
good. Yeah, not going to be good for Mitch as he looks to finish his lap. But this might be the order going into the race. Very bad news for George and Matt, who have yet to put in a lap and are just warming while on their out laps. So we'll see if the rain is so bad it puts them off their times. But stick on board with Mitch as he negotiates the chicane. Yeah, you can hear him being a little bit sensitive. I think the grip is starting to fade away from them as he goes into the final 2 corners. Yeah, you can see it really pouring down now. Mitch, who's been qualifying in and around, 12th and 7th actually, very contradicting qualifying positions, and that is only good enough for 14th for the time being, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be improving with the rain raining out in the air. We'll see how Matt goes along. What's his first sector like? A 25.5, I believe that is. I don't think that's hugely competitive compared to the front runners. George also finishing his lap. We'll see how he fares. But yeah, really not too good for these guys. Whatever reason, didn't get the early lap in, and they're paying the price for it now. Yeah, you can see Matt being really careful, and George still in the final corner. Stays 15th, and I think Matt is even going to struggle to beat that because the track is really wet now as he's really struggling. Yeah, I think this
That
is
should be
your
the end of qualifying.
qualifying. So,
A lot of people still gone out on laps, actually.
yeah, Kurt is trying out on a lap, but obviously I don't think he's going to improve at all. Yeah, DRS is disabled. I think that's a telling sign that we're definitely not, well, definitely are in intermediate conditions now. And yeah, Matt has staying 16th, so really not good for Mitch, George, and Matt. Really caught out by the woman there. And yeah, that is our grid. So I'm assuming it's not going to dry up by the end of the session. So, wow. I mean, that's probably one of the shortest qualifying sessions you're ever going to see in your lifetime. But Kurt has got the pole again. Shocker there. So we'll have a quick run through the order through the first laps of qualifying. So Kurt is your man in pole position with a 1:15.8 straight out of the blocks. Really, really impressive lap from Kurt there. Slav managed to get back, hit to Husky and Tycho into second place after his second lap with a 16.5. Husky very, very close behind in third place, also a 16.5, and then another 16.5 for Tycho in fourth. You're feeling very aggrieved, especially with the gap to Husky that he missed out on third place and potentially a front row start, but fourth place is still quite good. Jet down in fifth place. I can imagine he probably would have wanted to be a little bit higher, but as I said, the rain not really playing favours for him. Don't Blink in sixth with a 16.7. Legendary Louis in seventh. Euroboris GT in eighth. Savage Ami in ninth. Cohen Zig in 10th. GSR Riles in 11th. Echo in 12th. Crazy Mittens in 13th. And Mitch, George, and Matt really being caught out by the rain, 14th, 15th, and 16th. And that, as we say, looks to be the qualifying session. I think we're just waiting for, I think Crazy Mittens just to go back into the pits and retire. So, what are you thinking of that grid, TV? Anything stand out to you, really?
Well, I think not really. I think there's the same similar top 5 up there, but I think it can shift just because of that. The circumstances with the weather. So I think we could see a pretty crazy race. Some people maybe out of position. Matt all the way down there last.
Yeah, I was.
Mitch also pretty far down. I think both of them have got the pace to get back up there.
Yeah, I was just about to follow your words there. I think Matt is the real loser in that scenario. We know how quick he has been in the Equal Series so far, and yeah, for him to be down in 16th last on the grid, really not what he would have wanted. Should, you would think, have the pace to get back up into the points, but we'll just have to see. But yeah. That is the qualifying session over. We'll see what the race brings us, firstly in terms of weather, because, I think the weather really not doing quite a lot of our drivers any favours there. But so the final classification, Kurt in pole position, Slav, in fact, I've already been through this, so I won't repeat it again.
I'll just go down the order.
Yeah, just so everyone can see. But yeah. Very quick qualifying session, short and sweet, and we'll be bringing you the race very, very shortly. Be very interesting.
I believe
Go on.
the race conditions are mixed. Someone said Tycho wasn't very clear, so...
Right. Yeah, they don't really make good weathermen, do these drivers, do they, really?
No. It's a shame the game doesn't explain that to us.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's really a feature that they should make into the game, the spectators. Oh, there he is. He's on the stream, guys. He's made it for the second or third weekend in a row with the ice cream. Third one. Oh, we should really get him on. We should really get him on.
But he always shows up when we're streaming, so maybe he wants to have a look.
Next weekend.
Trying to get my attention.
Next weekend, stream outside. Get him on. Oh, but I'm really willing to see what he his thoughts are on the race. Looks to be a very dry start, so if they are mixed conditions, it'll be similar to what we saw in qualifying, starting off dry, then going to the wets. But we'll see.
Well, driver's readied up, so predictions for the win?
Well, I mean, with the pure pace he's shown straight off the block, I mean, I think we're going to have to go Kurt, aren't we? I mean, to put a 1:15.8, half a second clear of anybody after the first round of flying lap. I mean, it was almost a second clear. I think he's definitely the favourite. Yeah, I can't look past him. It pains me to say because I thought the gap would have been a bit closer. Oh yes, something to notify. We are going broadcast formation lap because we've known a few issues with other leagues in terms of a simulated formation lap. So that is the noted difference you'll see. But straight away, I've noticed Kurt on the soft tyres, as opposed to everyone else around him. Yeah, everyone else around him on the mediums, I think I saw. I only saw a quick glimpse of it. A few people lower down on the hards, but yeah, Kurt on the softs. So,
yeah, I was glossing over the strategy here today because the tyres don't last long at all. I think the softs do about 10 laps, mediums do 18, and the hards do 24. But you know, the pit lane is so long here. I think a two-stop is just pretty risky. You know, unless he's hoping for a safety car, I could see this race swing towards Jet, Slav, or Husky. Really.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Husky and Jet and Slav, all previous winners of Imola.
Right. Well, here we are then. The start of the Grand Prix is our way, and it is a good start from Kurt, I believe. A few swapping up positions. Tycho all the way up into second place. Great start from him. Can he challenge Kurt into the first corner? No, Kurt defends that well, but it's Tycho in second. Slav is down to third.
Oh,
there has been contact involving the Haas of Echo, I believe that is. Matt, all the way up from back of the grid to 9th place. Although, have I just seen a little bit of damage? Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of damage on his front wing. Caught up with that Haas, but great start from him. Mitch as well, also up in 8th.
Jet all on the rear of Slav.
And that is an amazing start from Tycho up into a second place. But yeah, as you rightly pointed out, Jet all over the back of Slav, who seems to be struggling in these early stages. Yeah, Matt is the big winner of that start, up 7 places. Mitch also up 6 into 8th. Not a great start from Legendary Louis, down, I think that's 8 positions, down in 15th. I think he was also one who got caught up in the drama involving the house. I think Don't Blink has just got past Husky, who has dropped down 3 places, so not a good start for him. Let's have a...
he just got past Jet, though.
He has. I think he's just...
Wheel to wheel.
Going wheel to wheel through the final corner, keeping it clean. It's what we love to see. But I just want to have a quick look at everyone's tyre strategy. So, yeah, Kurt on the softs at the front, leading Tycho, who was on the mediums, and then down to Husky and Sick, all medium runners. Then comes Savage Army, first of the hard runners, who leads Mitch, who's also on the hards. I think Matt has just pitted for that front wing I've just seen, so that has now dropped him back down to 16. Such a shame. Great start from a last on the grid all the way up to 9th, I think it was, but unlucky got caught in that. So yeah, Savage, Hammy and Aero Mitch on the hards. Will be interesting to see how long they can go in the first instance, see if they can cause any problems for the front runners if they have to pit early. Glenn, Riles also, well, they're on the medium tyres in 9th and 10th. Coenzig on the hard, probably explains why he's lost a position. Crazy Mittens and Legendary Louis on the mediums in 12th and 13th. Jordster in 14th on the hards, and Echo, who had that first lap spin on the mediums, and that does have a bit of damage to his front wing I've just seen. So
Mitchell on the back of Hammy.
Yes, very mixed up
Quite
grid.
good for the move though.
Yeah, Mitch is really, he's managed to
already got a 3-second gap almost.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to do that second pit stop surely.
Yeah, if he he'll be struggling to get them hards for, I mean, what is it going to be, about like over 20 laps at least. I think Mitch has just got past Savage Hammy up into 7th around the outside. Late braking, great move around the outside by Mitch there. Mate, an amazing start from, what was it, 14th, I think he was on his starting position, all the way up to 7th. So, amazing start. And
Great start.
Savage Ami looks to be dropping back now as Glenn or Eurus GT seems to be all over him. Obviously struggling to get temperature in them hard tyres, but Mitch can now go forward and try to get onto the back of Husky. Mitch is going to be really troublesome for, I think, Kurt out in front, because if Kurt does have to pit early, he's going to have to build up that gap to...
Was a yellow flag.
There is a yellow flag, I believe.
GSR Riles.
Yes, in the Alpha
A lot of
Tauri.
debris on the track.
I think as he just spat...
That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's made contact with anyone. I think he might have just lost it under his own steam there. I
believe he was involved in something. I'm not.
Oh, actually, yeah,
sure.
his entire front wing's off. So yeah, there maybe was a bit of contact there. We'll have to get word from him after the race.
Yeah, closing in on Don't Blink.
Yeah, we'll go on board with him. Yes, he is indeed. In fact, he might be looking for a possible move here on the outside, similar to Mitch did a few in the last lap. Round the outside, very great move, late braking, and that puts Don't Blink in a really bad position in terms of racing lines to SSRski behind him, who definitely hasn't had the start he would have wanted. He would have wanted to make forward engage rather than fall backwards, as GSR Riles has unfortunately retired from the race.
Shame.
Person we know who does have a lot of pace. I just think he's unfortunately, so we don't know what happened to him in terms of whether he was made contact or spun, but Kurt really building out the gap out in front over 4 seconds now, 4.5 seconds, as a Savage Hammy I think spun or been involved with something, and that is he's lost his front wing, so he again, I must have missed that. But I think there's a safety car of some sort. I think it's the full safety car. Full safety car is out, which has not helped Kurt one bit. Needing to pull out that gap. Does he pit now? He does. He's gone into the pit, so he's going to drop well down the field. And Tycho is going to take the lead of this race. Kurt might even drop to the very back. It's a very, very long pit lane, as you pointed out earlier on TV. So he might be dropping back very, very much so. And I mean, to take the hard tyres all the way to the end at this stage of the Grand Prix, I mean, he's going to struggle, isn't he, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the best move. Starting on the softs, I don't know what he was thinking there.
I think,
but maybe
it would have been interesting. I mean, obviously the safety car hasn't helped him. He's been unlucky in that regard, but I think even still, you were looking at quite a task to pull off the strategy he was doing, but it might still come out on top for him. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Tycho, for the first time this season, I believe, takes lead of the Grand Prix. So
yeah, we'll be happy with that one.
Be definitely happy with that one. I think if we get the positions going, so yeah, Tycho's up 3 positions from 4th up into 1st. Slav maintaining position from the start. Jet moving up 2 places, and so has Don't Blink. Husky again, be disappointed he's down in 5th. I would have thought he would have wanted to move forward with that. Mitch again, brilliant start all the way. He moved up 8 places, so starting from 14th, moving all the way up to 6th. I mean, that is brilliant stuff from him. But yeah, legendary Louis had a terrible first lap, I think, as managed to claw back some positions up into 9th, and obviously Kurt the big loser out under the safety car. Where does the strategy go now? That is the question. I mean,
well, as I said before, those mediums probably can do another 7 or 8 laps. You don't really want to be going longer than that on them, because they'll just start blistering, people start making mistakes. So I think the hard runners will be in a good spot here. They can go another 15 laps, then go onto the mediums, and they're good to go.
It's quite an odd
Mitch is in a
strategy.
good spot here.
I was about to say it might be the case that Mitch, who started in 14th, is looking very, very good for a possible, we could say podium at this rate, given his strategy. It's still a long way to go in this race yet, but he's looking in a very good position. Whilst you were talking there, TV, I noticed Glenn or Eurus GT has pitted for the hard tyre. So obviously he's thinking he can possibly get them to the end of the race, and he's spun straight out of the pits. That's going to enable Matt to pass him. So not a
Free
Glenn's.
position. He won't be complaining about that one.
Yeah, it's not Glenn's finest moment there, but obviously he has the confidence to take them hard tyres to the end, you feel, so maybe it's not all bad for Kurt. But yeah, Matt's pit for the soft tyre, so he's clearly going aggressive, as is Savage Hammy in 13th. But yeah, the dynamic of this race has changed quite drastically now. You just feel that the front medium runners are just going to have to basically do what Kurt has been doing prior to the safety car and just build the gap, just push, try and go out as long as possible, but try and build a gap to the hard runners behind him, because Mitch and Zig are in a very, very good position here, as are Jordster and Kurt and Echo with the hard tyres, but Kurt will feel aggrieved having lead this race, building almost a 5-second gap to lose under the safety car, but I think we're about to get underway here with Tycho just becoming the de facto safety car, and he's gone. So who has reacted quickest? I don't think Slav's reacted to that well, because Jet is already side by side with him. Ducks back inside for the slipstream, and further on down, I think we've got a Aero Mitch trying to move on SSR Husky on the inside. And I think he's going to make it stick, possibly. He is. Aero Mitch up into 5th place on the hard tyre. A great start from him. Zig losing out of position, losing out a few positions, actually. But Mitch really, really making these hard tyres count. But Slav keeps hold of 2nd position. As I think we've got some contacts further on back. Yes, I think we have. Jordster has spun out. I think Matt has made up some positions as well as Kurt, but Zig has gone all the way down to 11th, so he was running just behind Mitch behind the safety car, so I think we've missed something going on with him. So not a good restart for them, and I think, is that Zig going off track? Oh no, it's Sammy going off track and losing a position to Echoes down 14th, but wow, Mitch really making them hard to work, but Jet is really looking to take that 2nd place back.
He's lost it again.
Oh.
I think he's retired.
Yeah.
I think he's out, actually.
Savage Hammy is out, yes. I think he's just come up across the bottom. I think he's lost out of Aqua Minerale. And, yes.
That'll be another safety car?
I don't think so. It's not been called yet. And I think, to be honest,
all on the back of
I was about to say, I think Jet is going to be relieved at that, because he is all over the back of the Mercedes of Slav, looking to get the move on. And I think Husky is trying to come back at Mitch as well. Is Husky going to try around the outside? He is. Does he leave space? Oh, that was very, very close. Husky losing out of position to Louis in the process. I think I wouldn't say there's anything malicious from Mitch. That I think it was just a bit too tight a gap.
I'll say after that
they tried to go through.
First lap incident, Louis back up into top 7,
yeah.
So he's doing a good job.
He's done a miraculous job of recovering this. Kurt, I think, has he just been overtaken? I think is he moved down to 9th, or yeah, I think Matt has just gone past him actually. So
Jess got a good run on Slav here.
Oh, let's go back on board with him.
Straight line speed, you can see. I don't know if it's the difference of setup or someone's lost it.
I think Echo has lost it. Yep, he's now going to be last, and I think
that was close.
Oh. I think Jet,
Jet almost.
Yeah, look at Jet going into the final. He makes the position finally, but will that straight line speed hurt him down this straight? Can Slav get the run out of him? I don't think so, because Don't Blink is really, really close behind him, and DRS is enabled this lap. They won't have it on this straight, which I think will be the relief.
Speed Slav has.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Is he going to take it back? I think, but Jet keeps it on. He keeps it firm, keeps the inside, and doesn't allow Slav pass. But yeah, Slav in a straight line, the setup he's running is an absolute demon down the straight. So he's going to be very hard to pass. Well, as was proven, it's taken Jet, I think, 2 or 3 laps just to get past him. But yeah, obviously it is.
Slav's borrowed last year's Mercedes power unit. By the
way, obviously,
absolute rocket ship. He's gone down to McLaren and said, "Hey, give us the engine."
I'll tell you what, we're going to need to check the back of that Merc after he's put it in park firmly, just to make sure he hasn't got no jet fuel in there or something. It's absolutely ridiculous the straight line speed he's showing. but it's clearly costing him in the corners because look, Don't Blink is all over the back of him. So while he might be fast in a straight line, it is clearly costing him around the lap, and he has gone through quite a lot of his ERS already. So Don't Blink, who's on 70%, Slav all the way down in the 20s. Is that Crazy Mittens?
Spin.
Yeah. He's just gone down to 13th, I think, hasn't he? Just had a little spin, unfortunate
just watch
for him.
Slav on this straight. Gaining and gaining and gaining. He's gained about 4 tenths.
Well, with the DRS as
5
well, don't
tenths,
forget.
6 tenths. But that's it, that's crazy. Oh,
Jet's
he's messed up there.
He has messed up there. That leaves an opening for Slav if he can get it down this straight. Does he use the DRS? I don't think he's quite to use, to be fair, but he is really close behind him now. I think Husky has just got in front of Aero Mitch by the looks of it. And I think is Matt having a go at Aero Mitch as well, possibly. Matt obviously on the fresher soft tyres.
Yeah, Matt's going to get that position surely.
So the soft tyres really working well for Matt at this stage because Kurt is still in 9th, not really making any progress.
Yeah, this race has gone down south for him.
Yeah,
not the result he would have wanted.
But Matt is really making the most of it on the soft tyres. I think the Haas had a cheeky look of a cheeky look on Lewis there into the chicane, but thought better of it. But yeah, Don't Blink again, really all over the back of Slav. He is going to have the, in fact, yeah, I think he's just in DRS range of Jet in front of him. So
he might even get the run on Jet. I wouldn't be surprised. That speed, look, you can see the gap now is a second.
Yeah,
close that down to at least 5 tenths.
Which must be so frustrating for Don't Blink as he gets so close but yet can't overtake him. As I see the Alpine of Kurt making a move on Mitch on the inside. And yeah, again, showing some good straight line speed there to make his way up into 8th. So the comeback slowly begins for Kurt, but I think he's just messed up a little bit there because Mitch is again having a look at him, but not quite got the drive. But yeah, hopefully Kurt can start making some positions now. And well, he needs to make sure he looks after them tyres while he does, because all the more while he's fighting, all the more while he's taking life out of them tyres, making his job harder in the Grand Prix. But these medium runners, surely their tyre life must be dropping off at some stage. You'd be thinking possibly about pitting in the next couple of laps, which will give...
Yeah, good point.
Which would give, obviously, Kurt, Mitch and Glenn the opportunity to fight for the lead. But I'm just having a look at SSRski getting really, really close to the back of legendary Louis there. But Louis doing a very good job of defending it, because Husky is a very quick driver, so he's clearly doing something right to keep hold of him. But Slav,
the DRS though.
Slav is a lot closer to Jet and is in the DRS, so
he's going to go for the move. Look at that speed.
It is
unbelievable.
Ridiculous. I think he's going to make it done. I think Jet's not going to have a chance to defend that. No, he's not. But
I just checked on the speed.
Oh no, Slav spins it. He's lost it. Unbelievable. No, Slav. Oh. Looking so promising, but obviously just got a little bit too trigger happy with the corner. Exit the corner, and that's down in 12th place, out of the points.
He did get past Louis, so good job from him. Blink all over the rear of Jet. Tycho pulling away, actually.
Yeah, up to 3 seconds.
That bit of contact has allowed him extra second or so.
Yeah, we haven't really
seen the penalty.
Wow, so this race really fallen into Tycho's hands here. He's got a 3 second lead to a Jet behind him, who now also has Don't Blink right behind him as well, so he's going to be under even more pressure. Tycho in a really good position if he's kept the ERS well managed at 84%. If he can just eke those tyres out a little bit longer, he could be in a very good position here to possibly get his first win of the season. But look at Don't Blink really behind Jet Run. I think he's going to again. Oh!
What? What on earth just happened there?
I think Jet. I wouldn't put that on Don't Blink. I think Don't Blink just slid up the inside, had the straight line speed, and I think almost Jet went over to cover him, but just misjudged it by the looks of things. He just basically just sort of accidentally swerved into him, and that has obviously cost him his entire front wing.
Wow.
So another player who was looking in
Both
contention
are.
for the race win.
Yeah, both of them. Kurt as well,
Wow.
throwing it away, sort of. 'Cause he's gonna have to pit again, surely.
Wow, will this race take another
Tycho,
twist?
Tycho and Blink, really. Husky as well, all three of them.
Husky as well, yeah.
In prime position.
Legendary
here, so
Louis,
that's really...
given how his first lap went as well, he's in 4th in the medium tyre. He could quite as well be in this race.
Oh yeah, good point. And Matt as well, up 10 positions, so that safety car really saving him out. And I think he... is he on a fresh set of tyres? I don't think
I
so.
believe I believe when he
softs.
pitted, yeah, he's on softs, but he pitted under the safety car, so they would be a fresh set of tyres he put on, but he should be into the pits soon. In fact, he's into the pits right now. So I believe he'll be putting on the... he's got
Oh.
5-second penalty, which
Yeah,
I'm
you don't
sure
want that. You don't
he'll
want to be doing that.
be annoyed at himself about. On go the hard tyres.
Look at Husky, I told you. I told you.
Yeah, well, look at that. He's now on the back of Don't Blink, so he's taken a while to get into this race, Husky, losing a few positions at the start, but I think with all the chaos going on in front of him, it's allowed him to pick up the pieces, and he's really trying to find his groove now, all over the back of Don't Blink, who is now dropping off to Tycho, but Kurt all over the back of Legendary Louis now, who I feel has just had to defend these past 5 or 6 laps.
I've got to say, he's been doing a great job.
He's been doing a very good job. As I said, after a nightmare first lap, all the way back up into 4th place, doing an absolute sterling job, and he might just have the DRS of Husky, which will aid him in his defence. But Husky is really, really hounding the back of that Williams in front of him. He should be looking to get in front. In fact, he's looking to get in front in this corner, and I think he will do. I think as
He's going to lose out on the DRS though.
Matt has spun and has lost his entire front wing, I've just seen. So any chances he had of making an impact at the front of this race, I think have just gone
they're
up.
all in.
They are. So Husky, Don't Blink and Louis have just come into the pits. Tycho continues, and that releases Kurt and Mitch on the hard tyre, and Glenn as well, your Brush GT. Wow, it's so
Glenn
much
actually
action.
in a pretty good spot here because
Yeah.
he can make those hards last another 10 laps, and then he can go for the softs right at the end and just be an absolute rocket.
Well, he's in the exact same position Kurt is in. So him and Kurt running very similar
true.
races in 2nd and 4th. Obviously, the Alpines basically doing the exact same strategy, which is counteractive to everybody else. I just have a sneaky suspicion Kurt might try and nurse these tyres towards the end, you know. I know realistically that's probably not going to happen, but we've seen it before in previous... Well, I've seen it before in previous leagues. What, has
Crazy
something
Mittens,
happened?
sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, Crazy Mittens lost a bit of his front wing. I just saw him and Echo going through the chicane. The camera didn't really show it, but I saw some bits of debris flying off the car. So
yeah, he's lost his front wing.
In there. If there was contact or well, there probably was, but
well, Husky has just got a time penalty. I've just seen, and Tycho now pits from the lead, so Kurt takes control again of the race lead. Mitch is now up into 2nd, but where's
he
Tycho?
going to come out though?
That is a very good point. I think. Obviously,
stay on board with Husky, see if he can jump him.
Well, I'll stay on board with Tycho, who is just coming out of the pit exit about now, so he's going to get the gas on. Where is he going to come out in front of Husky? He's clear, but he's going to have the warm-up issues, and with Husky now got those tyres fully warmed up, expect that gap to fall probably around 2 or 3 seconds like it was before.
It's 4.5 seconds and just going down by the second.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, you can look at Husky really reining in that gap as Tycho looks to get temperature in his tyres. In fact, the rate this is going, Husky might be very, very close to the DRS if Tycho continues to have warm-up issues.
Well, the gap before they pitted was about 2 seconds, maybe 2.5. So.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 seconds, which I think it's stabilising it now, so probably kept the same gap, but we'll go back to the...
I wouldn't count Husky out for catching up in a few laps.
No, definitely not. He seems to have got the bit between his teeth.
Yeah, he's still closing that gap.
Yeah, down to about 2 seconds now, I think, or just over. But
I'll
Kurt
be back in
now,
1 sec.
yeah, not a problem. Kurt now stretching his advantage over Mitch, who I must again praise for the race he's had. What is that? Making up 12 positions. Also, Jordster in 5th. Jordster running a very good race. He's gone under the radar, but running in 5th place. Only 15.5 seconds off the lead, which, I mean, considering the crazy race we've had so far, I think he's done a bloody good job. We'll see where he'll end up. He might be in very good chance of points, and as I think a Mercedes of, is it Matt? Yeah, has spanned. So, I mean, we were talking to him pre-race about the possibility of what he could do this race, and he said, as long as I don't spin, I'll be all right. And unfortunately, he's finding it quite difficult out there on the track. As is Crazy Mittens, I think. Oh, Jet has just got past Echo.
What have I missed then?
I think you've just seen Matt spin again, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
So he's dropped behind Crazy Mittens, it looks like. Yeah, we had a chat with him pre-race about him not being all right if he doesn't spin, but he's finding it quite difficult out there in front, unfortunately. But Kurt really pulling out over Aero Mitch in front. That gap was just over 5 seconds, I believe, last lap. It's now up to 6.4. So Kurt, now that he's found a bit of clear air, I mean, he is still 25 seconds in front of Tycho. So I know the pit stop is a little bit longer. It's about 26, 27 seconds. But if he just can extend that gap, or at least keep it at that, pits in for the soft tyres, Kurt still might be with a chance of winning here. As we've had a spin for... Is it Jordster?
I don't think it's a spin.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it?
No, it was someone letting a Ferrari through. Oh, no.
No, we have had a spin.
Matt,
It's a
lost it again.
Mercedes. Yeah, Matt is really... I think his head's gone down now. He's was once looking into a very promising race before he pitted for those hard tyres. Yeah, it's just not turned out the way he wanted it to. But Slav on the recovery drive in 12th. He's still 16 seconds behind Echo, and who's another couple seconds behind Jet. So he's a good chunk away from some points, is Slav. But if he gets his heads down and gets the pace going, he'll have more than enough ability to catch up. I mean, there are still, we're just over halfway into the race. As Zig, you're right, does come into the pits. So where would that put him?
Really closing in the gap to Tycho. It was 1.7 seconds last lap. It's now 1.2. So he's gaining about half a second a lap.
Yes, indeed. As we
Blink and Louis.
Oh yeah.
Too ill.
So as
sort of backing out there.
Louis, I think, has closed the gap because I think Don't Blink was a few seconds in front of him last time I checked. So legendary Louis again, well, now going on the offensive rather than the defensive, which we've seen him do all race. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I think Husky is within that DRS range of Tycho now, but they're both still losing time to cut out in front. Gap to from him to Tycho now, 26.5 seconds. So if this continues, then Kurt will have the gap to come in and pit before, I think, as that Matt has spun again, I think. Yeah, so it's really not turned into a good race for, well, either Mercedes, to be fair. Yeah, again, well, looking so promising. I think I've just seen Jet run all over the back of Zig. Zig's just come out of the pits, remember, so he will be having some warm-up issues with the tyres. As Jet probably looks to come in. Yeah, Matt's retired from this session. It's unfortunate. He showed some good pace, but yeah, just not quite been able to have the consistency today. But Jet looking to move up from P10, but he can't quite get it done. Even with the DRS, he's struggling in terms of the straight line. And Zig keeps his position. So Husky all over the back of Tycho Path now. That gap is only now a couple of tenths of a second. But again, the gap to Kurt out in front ever increasing now, over 27 seconds. Kurt is really showing his pace, and is really looking quite comfortable for the win. It must have, even if he does have to come again, it must be said. So that strategy we were doubting earlier seems to be coming through for him. Just needs to pray we don't have another safety car, because that could put ruins to his plans. But it makes to think where Mitch and Glenn and Jordster will come out in this race. Jordster, who just actually peels into the pit, so but we'll go on board with Husky, who is all over the back of Tycho. Surely he'll be looking to get the move done on the into the first corner. Yeah, he's gaining, going to pull out onto the inside. Tycho has no defence, and up into 4th place goes SSR Husky on his first race of the season.
Good
yeah,
comeback,
very good move.
Actually.
Yeah,
He
after a
struggled on the first few laps.
yeah,
He's
after
come
a slow start, he's definitely improved. Jordster out of the pits comes out in 10th place, but I think Echo on the warmer tyres will be well, more than capable of passing him. Just needs to make sure keeps it on the track, not to lose too much time trying to get temperature into them tyres. But for the moment, he keeps on to 10th place. I think Glenn has been
gonna come out first here.
I
If he
think
is,
he
he's
will
gonna
do.
struggle on those tyres. Even if he is, Slav gets a penalty.
Well, I've just been having a word with this. I think Kurt now has now that Husky's actually got past Tycho, the gap has sort of stabilised at around 27 seconds. So if Kurt does decide to pit, or does need to pit again, which we imagine he will be coming in and around out where Husky is. Husky obviously with the penalty doesn't help him. But in fact, I think I've seen Kurt just make a little mistake there, so he might have lost a bit of time. But I think Kurt will try and make it to the end of the race. I just have a feeling he will. He's tried them sort of strategies before. It's not worked in the past, but in this new game, who's to say it can't work out for him now? But I'm interested to see where Mitch will come out ahead of this. Obviously, starting in 14th, running in 2nd. If he pits now, he'll be coming out in and around Legendary Louis and Zig in 7th and 8th, which you've got to admit is a great comeback for where he started in qualifying. So, be very impressed if he manages to do that. Yeah, Kurt continues on his way. Kurt did lose a little bit of, quite a lot of time to Husky that lap. He actually lost 1.5 seconds, so it's 25.5 seconds now, as we saw Kurt make that little mistake.
Husky should be out in front then. I'm confident. I think he can win this race.
The only thing holding him back at the minute is that 3-second time penalty, which is
he is starting
unfortunate.
to pull away from Tycho, but Tycho
Yes.
doesn't get the DRS. So this could... Husky really is... He just needs to keep his head down and put the lap times through. There's been a spin. It's one of the Mercedes.
Slav. Yeah, it's the sole remaining Mercedes, I think, has just spun. So, yeah, really not good day for the Mercedes team, as Legendary Louis makes his way finally past Don't Blink and up into 6th place.
Yeah, those two have been fighting for a few laps, actually.
Those two have been fighting, and what is that has enabled is Zig and Jet to close the gap, because Zig, on the medium tyre, obviously started on the hards, has gone on the medium tyre now, so he will have that tyre advantage. So he might be looking at a possible 6th place finish here, as well as Jet is behind him, because Jet has just been sticking with Zig and basically following him in the DRS. So that could be a very interesting fight in a couple of laps' time, at the fight for 6th place. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Jordster has managed to keep hold of Echo in behind him for the final points-paying position. Great drive from Jordster, it must be said. Starting 15th, currently in 10th, so that's a gain of 5 positions, as Echo behind him actually spins. Yes, he's actually spins, so that even relieves the pressure more on Jordster.
I think they might have a run on Louis here to get the position back. He's really having a great fight.
He's certainly looking close, isn't he? Yeah, he has the DRS open. Doesn't use any of the ERS, neither does Louis in front of him, but he's hardly got any ERS to use, to be fair. But Zig and Jet behind him,
he's had a moment
ever
there.
closer. Oh, Have I missed that? Yeah, I think I have, because Don't
Not
Blink is
enough
now
though.
right behind him, but yeah, not enough to warrant a move for the position. But yeah, Zig really making inroads and pulling Jet with him, so this could be a really interesting fight for 6th place here, which is inadvertently helping out Mitch in 2nd place, because he currently has about a 23-second gap to Louis in 6th. So if he was to pit now, he'd be coming out, I think, right behind these lot, and it looks like he's going to be coming out onto the soft tyre. In fact, he's going to pit this lap. So the fight for 6th is going to become even more closely fought as Mitch makes his way into the pits. I'm assuming it's got to be the soft tyre to come in for. It is indeed. So as
Yeah, he's going to be really quick here.
he's going to be really quick as Echo, I think, makes another spin.
Like safety car's out.
Wow.
Safety car is out.
Safety
So
car
this is played
is
right
out.
into.
It's made play right into Kurt and Glenn's hands.
Yeah, this is bad for Husky, really. He's going to lose.
This is
out.
really
He's gonna
bad
be
for
stuck on
Husky.
those.
It's
Mitch is going to be in a
Mitch.
great spot here. He's
It's unlucky. It is unlucky for Mitch, though, because if he would have just stayed out one more lap, he could have actually jumped Husky and Tycho before pitting, because he had the pit window in the safety car to maybe come out ahead of him. I don't think Glenn will, but Glenn might make the jump on Mitch here, so it's going to be in a very good position, but it is very, very unlucky for Mitch in the same time. But Jordster, look at that, Jordster all the way up to 6th place. So he's a one that's also benefited greatly, but surely Kurt will be coming in for the soft tyres. Yep, there we go, all the way into the pits. So will Glenn, you'd imagine. Do Husky and Tycho hit? That's the question.
Yes, they have to. They have to.
They surely have to, right, don't they? Because they're just going to be left
he's gonna be
vulnerable.
A sitting duck. If,
Yeah,
Mitch as well. They've got the delta to pit, so if they don't come in, I'll be surprised. But
Yeah.
I think he'll come in. Yeah.
Yeah, I
you can
think
see.
Husky.
It's a no-brainer.
And Tycho is also making his way into the pits now. So Mitch will get 3rd and 4th back. He will lose the position to Glenn, I believe, because Glenn, in fact, he might not do
Great day
actually.
for Alpine.
He might not actually
Alpine
lose the
have,
position. As just making his way down the straight, I think he might just get Glenn here. Actually, it's going to be close. Look at that. Is Mitch going to make it? He does. So Mitch actually doesn't end up losing out in that position. So that's actually worked out quite well for him. But yeah, look at Jordson. He's made his way up into 4th now. So he is going to be on the medium tyre. He is going to be left vulnerable to those behind him. But Jordson, up 11 places, up into 4th.
Echo's being disqualified. I'm not sure what happened there.
And Jet's got another penalty of 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So that has ruined his race, you'd imagine. But yeah, Echo getting disqualified for, I think it said ignoring yellow flag, so whether he just didn't adhere to the delta enough. But one person this has also helped out as well is Slav, because he was a billion miles away behind everybody else after the race he was having. But that sort of brought him back into things slightly, so he can maybe fight for a good haul of points here. But yeah, after the safety car, we've got Kurt, who you'd imagine is in a very strong position to go on and win this race. But Mitch, who started in 15th, or 14th,
my driver of the day.
I think he's got to be the driver of the day. Him or Jordster. Him or Jordster.
Glenn as well.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them really. I mean, but I have to give the edge to Mitch. I mean, 12 positions made.
Yeah.
A lot of overtakes we saw, and now the safety car has just played into his hands. So
I'm willing to
race from him.
I'm willing to go Mitch or Judster, but since you go Mitch, I think we'll make him our nomination. We'll wait for a few laps because there are still, I think, 6 racing laps to do yet. So anything can still happen. But yeah, it's been a great drive. Can Mitch actually go on and challenge Kurt and win this race? Can you imagine starting from, was it 14th on the grid? Wow, that would be a tail and a half. That would be a tail and a half.
Mitch did actually get his first podium last week, which he was happy about, but first win, I mean,
it's not off the
we'll just have
cards.
to see. No, it's not.
It is not off the cards. But yeah, will this is certainly made the end of the race exciting. I think what Georgester will be hoping for is for this safety car to be extended a few laps, because as I said, he is on the medium tyre and everyone else behind him, I believe, is on the soft tyre, yeah, down to Crazy Mittens, who is currently pitting for the soft tyre. So he'll be the only person on the grid running those medium tyres, so he'll be wanting the safety car to be running as long as possible. We might get another lap of it here because Crazy Mittens is a long way behind and hasn't caught up to the rest of the pack yet. But we'll have to see. Jet all the way down. I mentioned he got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, so that's now 8 seconds worth of penalties. And with Don't Blink and Zig ahead of him not having any penalties at all, Jet might struggle to get a point here. In what was looking to be quite a promising race early on, it's just not quite worked out as the race has progressed, and yeah, he might struggle to get a point here with all them penalties stacked against him. Legendary Louis with a 3-second penalty, and obviously Husky having that 3-second penalty as well. It's something that does work in George's favour, actually, to be fair, those penalties for Husky and Louis, so might not be all over yet. And the Slav, I think, is just coming again. Is he going on to a fresher set of softs? He might as well. He's not going to lose a position, is he? So, yeah. Slav losing... Well, he's got 3 seconds worth of penalties, and so does Crazy Mittens. So, it'll be interesting. I have a feeling that the finishing order on the track won't be the same as the classification, because we have got a few penalties going on. But we'll have to see. Can Kurt keep hold of this win, which at one point looked to have slipped away from him under that first safety car, but has now got back in within his grasp? Or can Mitch, starting from 14th on the grid, really turn the tables and produce one of the best drives I would have certainly seen in a while and take that victory away from him? Glenn as well in third, also another brilliant option for the win. Can Georgester keep hold of his fourth position? Amazing driving from him, but on those medium tyres he might find it a little bit tricky. Or can Husky and Tychopath, who were really on the warpath for trying to try and get that win, make their progress up through the field? But we'll soon find out. The safety car is in this lap, so we'll stay on board with the front of the pack, but I have a feeling we're going to be chopping and changing as people get ready to gear up for the restart.
Can Mitch challenge Kurt? That is a big question.
I'll tell you, I really hope he does, because as I said, I think his drive has warranted at least a shot at the win today. But I think Kurt has gone and has caught Mitch napping, so it's not good. It's not been a great restart, but I think, will he have enough to keep Glenn behind? I think so. And Georgester, again, look at that, really struggling to keep the soft tyres behind.
No.
And I didn't see that with Tycho, unfortunately.
Going to give him the position. Yeah, I think Georgester, Tycho looking to go around the outside, and Georgester just gave him no space at all. So Tycho,
look at that. Georgester's really struggling with these medium tyres. Look at that. He's just fallen through the pack. He's now down. He's now finding himself outside of the points.
Wow.
From what has been fourth, what has been an amazing drive. He just can't keep up with the soft tyres around him, and unluckily for George, he's now finds himself last. That's really gutting, because I was really rooting for him after the drive he's had. He has now unfortunately just lost out to the soft runners, but Kurt has now pulled out 1.5 seconds, so he's really on it, as Glenn wants to keep Aero Mitch company out front. He nearly loses it. That provides an opening for Husky in fourth. Yep. Husky needs to get a move on, because he obviously has that 3-second penalty. So is he going to try and move around the outside? I think he might do.
Glenn there.
Is really
pushing
good
him wide,
racing. Ooh, he's pushing him wide, but I think Husky might still have the run on him. If we're going down to turn 1, does he have the straight line speed? No, Glenn, that Alpine really pulling the legs on the straight of the pass there. Really not getting by. Slav now up into 9th. He, again, another one who needs to make progress to sure he finishes in the points, as does Jet, who is now right on the back of Dombling. In fact, actually, really took a better line through there. He gets another penalty. That's 11 seconds worth. So, yeah, in 3 laps, he's going to really struggle to finish in the points as Jet. But, yeah, I think Kurt has signed off out front. I think he's barring a mistake, he's going to be the one to win this race with Mitch coming home in second, because Glenn is under real pressure from Husky behind. Is Husky going to try and move into the chicane? I think he might now. He thinks better of it.
Tycho's here, though.
Yeah, Tycho is really looking interesting. In fact, he might have a go into this final corner. I think he does. He does have the ERS advantage over Husky, should he need it. He's going to try around the outside. Husky defends well, breaks deep.
Oh, but he tries the switchback.
Oh, Tycho with the switchback nearly completes it, but if he uses the ERS, surely he'll have Husky down the straight, because Husky's running very, very close to absolutely no ERS whatsoever. And yeah, he does. Look at that, the superior ERS. That might just gain him 4th place. But look at Louis in 10th, trying to maybe put a move through. Doesn't quite make it happen, but that's put Husky off the racing line. And now Louis looking very interested. Is he going to defend? Yes, he is. Louis around the outside, not really making it fit. But will he onto this hairpin? No, he thinks better off. But yeah, not a few corners. Down into 5th place. And Tycho now can smell a podium.
He can.
Ooh, two more laps to go. And Tycho, we have absolutely no idea what this order's going to be. It's Slav. I think Jordsa might still be on for a points finish here, because he might have, well, he's good gaining positions from Jet and Slav, so Jordsa still looking good for points, which would be absolutely amazing for him. But Tycho really looking to want to get that podium after looking strong all race and leading the majority of it, especially through the early phases. He'll be wanting to at least get a Ouroboros GT for the podium, both on similar amounts of ERS. This is literally going to go a fight. Or on the last lap, he's got DRS. Surely there's nothing stopping Tycho from getting past now.
That straight line speed Glenn has, you can see him just holding, but he needs to.
That is
needs
true.
to hold the inside line here, because this is the
Which
last
he
lap.
does.
Oh,
Look at Tycho! What a move
Wow.
from Tycho! Wow, that is absolutely amazing stuff. Faking him on the outside and then diving on the inside. Wow, that was a move worthy of a podium finish. I must admit, that's brilliant from Tycho. And that has unfortunately means for Glenn, he is now off the podium, which, I mean, at the start, when he was looking at behind the safety car restart, would have almost thought he would have been nailed on, but wow, amazing move by Tycho to get the 3rd place there. Are there any...
Brilliant move.
It was
Brilliant
an absolutely
overtake.
brilliant move, yes. But I think... Oh, have we got a spin? It's Slav. So that promotes Jordster into the points.
It's a race he'll want to forget, for sure.
Definitely for Mercedes. But Kurt rounds the penultimate corner. A race which sort of escaped him in the early phases when he got caught out by the safety car, but has done an excellent recovery job. Wins round 3 of the ARL Championship. And Mitch, what a brilliant drive from him, from 14th to 2nd. And Tycho putting on an amazing show for the podium. And Glenn follows him in for 4th. Husky keeps his 5th despite his penalty. Zig moving all the way up to 6th because he kept it penalty free. Great news for him. Don't Blink in 7th. Legendary Louis, despite a horrible first lap, making a good recovery for 8th. George, again, another shout out. Brilliant drive. Found himself high in the podium positions at one point. Finishes in 9th. And wow, what a race. To say you don't get much overtaking action at Imola, that is one of the best races I've seen yet. I've got to agree with that for driver of the day for Mitch.
I've just got the man himself in. I'm just getting all the podium finishers in.
While you do that, I'll just say go through the official classification. So yeah, Kurt winning the race after a brilliant recovery drive. Mitch, our driver of the day, in second. Tycho pulling off an excellent move to get into the final podium places. Your Boris GT in fourth. Husky, unlucky, could have possibly had the pace for more, but finishes fifth. Zig keeping himself out of trouble with the penalties in sixth. Don't blink as well, no penalties, means he finished seventh. Legendary Louis, after an amazing recovery drive after his first lap, in eighth. Jordster, again another shout out for driver of the day, in ninth. Jet Run does get a point despite his amazing run of penalties, in 10th. Crazy Mittens ever so close to getting a point, in 11th. And Slav, really, well, a day to forget for both Mercedes boys, rounding off the classified finishers. And Matt, Savage Army, GSR Riles and Echo rounding off our non-finishers, all races to forget for them. Well, what a race that was. Who have we got in here? We've got Mitch and Kurt. I think we're just waiting on Tycho. But while we wait, shall we start with our drive? In fact, we'll start with the winner of the Grand Prix, Kurt.
He is the talk and he delivers.
He is the talk. To be fair, we were, especially after we saw you starting on the soft tyres, we were doubting the strategy, but it's actually come through for you at the end. How was that race for you? Just talk us through it.
It was pretty calm, really, except for when I had to box for hards and try to overtake some people on the hards. It's so dangerous to overtake people at this track. So, besides that, it was pretty plain sailing, I'd say.
Yeah. How were your feelings when the first safety car got called out? Because I'm assuming, obviously, you starting on the soft tyre, you wanted to build that gap to try and obviously offset the tyre difference you had. But obviously, with that safety car being called out, it eliminated that. Put you way back in, I think it was outside the points when you came out first time around. Were you at all nervous that the win might be off the cards at that stage, or did you have full belief in yourself that you could come through?
The safety car definitely wasn't ideal because I wanted to build my gap just a little bit more, but I knew, just the pit lane is so long here, and I saw that I wasn't losing very much time to the leader, so I was fairly confident that strategy was going to work, so. Yeah.
Wow. Have you got any other questions to add, TB?
No, just a well done. Didn't look like that race was going to be yours, but made it yours at the end. So good job for that.
Thanks. Yeah, definitely. Yes, congrats on that.
You are now leading the championship, so good job.
Yes, with Jet's unfortunate race today. Still getting a point, but only the one. I think you might say we'll need classification, but I think you will indeed win the championship. So well done to you.
Thanks.
We'll move on to our driver of the day, Mitch. 14th to 2nd place. Wow, an amazing drive. How are we feeling after that one?
I'm feeling pretty good. I showed up. I hadn't done any practice, and I even messed up in my quali, so I went out with too much fuel. I did 2 warm-up laps, and then it started to rain, so I figured I'd do something a little bit different and start on the hards all the way in the back. Everything really worked out for me. I was surprised on the first safety car restart to get a jump on Husky in front of me. I wasn't really planning on messing with him. He was on mediums, and I didn't pit, and the second safety car just tried to stretch out my hard tires as long as I could, and I think it came out when I was getting released from the jacks. And
yes, it did.
There was quite a gap between, 2, 3, and 4, I think, and I think it was like 11 seconds, and I was trying to do the math in my head, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to jump him, but I did.
No, I actually thought it came out quite an unlucky time for you because, as you just pulled into the pits, the safety car came out and we thought that might have ruined your race, but luckily enough, you had the gap to hold position. At what point in the race did you think a podium was on the cards? Because you were, after the amazing first lap you had, I think you made your way up into P9 or P8 after the first lap. You were constantly running in the midfield. Where was it? At what point do you think a podium might be on the cards here?
I wouldn't say that I thought a podium was even within reach until when the second safety car was out. I was halfway through my lap, and I think I was looking at the time difference, and you know how as you finish up the lapper, it's told me to start catching the safety car cue, and not
Yes.
I didn't have a delta anymore, so I threw
You
all
go
my
full
battery that I
Priz.
could, and went full beans on that home straight, and I passed Glenn, I think, as he was coming out of the pits. And
Yes.
I thought it was going to make me give the position back, but it didn't. I think maybe because he was on his pit exit still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't think a podium was on the cards. Even at the restart, the second restart, I didn't necessarily think. I was hoping that Glenn and Husky would fight it out, and they did. So it worked out.
Wow. Do you have anything to add, TB?
Just amazing drive, really.
Thank you, sir.
I
It
think
really was.
I think you took some notes from my drive at Imola last season. Clearly been doing your homework.
Yeah,
but
I did a
no,
lot of
this
it in
is
the last
about-
game, but
This is about you, not me. So well done. And
Yeah.
cheers.
you're on the rise. That's what I can say. The win. I mean, we were talking about you winning a race. Obviously, it didn't happen here, but you know, not far
Weren't
off.
far
if you
off.
Can get,
Weren't far off.
if you can get those kind of results, you know, every race.
A little
no
more
doubt.
favor with the strategy, yeah. A little luck, and it could happen. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely brilliant from Mitch today. As I say, 14th to 2nd, absolutely brilliant. But we shall move on to a person we didn't expect to see on the podium until the very last lap, where he pulled off an amazing move on Glenn. Tycho, how was that race for you?
I mean, it started off good, and I mean, hopefully you can hear my audio on the stream, but it started off good. I jumped up into P2 before turn 1,
Yes.
and I just kind of, I was similar pace to Slav, but I think he just kept getting bits of oversteer and stuff, and I gained my time there, but then the SC came out, and Kurt pitted, I stayed out, which I thought I'd be on the better strategy. I thought I would honestly be ahead of Kurt whenever I pitted, or
Yeah,
catch up
that's
to
what we
him at
all
least,
thought,
but
yeah.
everyone just kept fighting, and when I pitted, Kurt was only like 4 or 5 seconds behind, so
Right,
that really helped him, and Glenn.
Yeah, when that first safety car came out, we all thought that you were on the better strategy. We were even after you managed to pull away from the cars behind you, we were even tipping you to maybe go on to win the race. At what point do you think it sort of started slipping away and you sort of thought, right, maybe the race win's not possible here? At what point did you think it started getting away from you?
Once I saw Kurt was only 4 or 5 seconds behind, and he didn't have to pit, I thought I was
Yeah.
just done for. I don't think I was going to make enough time in half the race.
Well, you must be proud, especially after that last lap overtake on Glenn. Tell us through that. How did you size that one up?
I just had to go for it, all or nothing.
Yeah, it
He's
was
not gonna back
thrilling
out.
to watch. It was thrilling to watch. I must admit. Have you got anything to add for Tycho, TB?
Just you know, really solid driving, great overtaking. I think you know, same with Mitch. Both of you really on the rise. Just getting that step, getting ever closer to the top step. So yeah, well done, and keep up the good work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's been an absolute amazing drive from all three of you to come out on podium with what looked to be quite a crazy race. What did we have? We had 2 full safety cars, I think, and it
Yeah.
was just absolutely for an Imola Grand Prix. It was full of action and impact. But no, brilliant drive from all three of you, I must admit. Yeah, I'll let you sign off, TB, for the stream.
I believe we got Jet in here.
Oh, have we? I
Jet, are
didn't
you
see that.
there? He is.
Sorry, I didn't know you'd be interviewing me. I was just tuning in to listen in.
Oh,
My Twitch
well,
doesn't work.
well, we put you on the spot now. We put you on the spot.
Fantastic.
We might as
Well,
well get
listen,
some points. Yeah, we might as well
was
get
in a
some.
race. You want to
Uh,
do you want to
no.
talk us through? The bad stuff.
That was
Remind us.
very frustrating. Mistake number one was listening to the weather report that it was going to rain, so I put on a wet setup, and I had
That's a
about
good point,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
So I don't know how much you saw of me, but every time I got in the straight, it was a nightmare. So that
We
was
saw.
yeah.
Oh, we saw compared to. I think it was especially early on in the race behind Tycho. I think it was. It was
Oh
it
my
Tycho?
yeah.
Oh, was it Slav? Sorry, no.
So it was somebody.
Slav.
Yeah, I don't
Rocket.
remember.
It
Yeah,
was Slav when you were behind him. It took you a few attempts.
It was yeah, so that was mistake number one. It kind of put me in a bad position for the race because then obviously I just kept falling into the cars. So then I think I made contact with Don't Blink eventually, and then it was pretty much game over. But once I saw how awful the straight line speed was, I tried dropping the wing in the pit, but didn't make much of a difference. And yeah, I just fell back. And then after that, I don't know what happened. I didn't watch it. I have to watch it back. But after the contact with Don't Blink, and I was sent to the back, I was like, all right, well, nothing to lose now. Just kind of go with it. And then under safety car, I pit for mediums, and they put me on the mediums I started the race on, so they were at 50%. So to pit again,
Oh,
it was just
it's
sheer,
just
I
one
don't know.
problem after
The guys
another.
over at Ferrari swapped places, and they were at the Aston Martin pit box today.
Aston
but,
Martin clearly, taking tips from him on a flip. But you've done quite well. I mean, obviously you picked up a few penalties, I think, in that race. I think you combined, was it 11 seconds? I think at the end, still managed to get away with one championship point. So at least there's some solace in that. But
something wasn't a complete waste of time. Yeah,
wasn't a complete waste, no. But I do believe. I mean, again, we'll have to get confirmation for the next weekend. But I do believe that is now the championship lead surrendered to Kurt. I mean, obviously, after a race like that, you're going to be wanting to bounce back straight away. Is it just a case of bad luck, or is there just something you can maybe think of doing yourself to help you bounce back in the next week in Spain? I believe it is.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, congrats to Kurt because obviously, I didn't think he was gonna win after he pit that early, because the hards. Even going that long in the hards is just rough. Yeah,
we didn't
so
believe
congrats
it,
to him.
and it worked
But
out. So
yeah, but yeah, I mean, everyone has these races. These races happen all the time. I mean, Kurt had it the first race of the season, so you just gotta kind of take them as they come, and yeah, you just kind of turn the page. You don't think about it. That's all it is.
that's a good way of looking at it. But yes, it's still going to be close between you two, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely crazy race. With all the drivers involved, as I said, there wasn't a dull moment in it. But yes, we shall be looking forward to, in terms of the equal tier, obviously next weekend, I believe, is in Spain. So you better get practicing, boys. Obviously, we've got the realistic tier tomorrow. But yeah, you better get practicing for that, and hopefully it'll be another good one. I'll leave it with UTB to sign off.
Yeah, well, obviously, thank you, boys, in the party. Good race from Kurt and Tycho, Jet. I'm sure you'll be back on the podium at the minimum next week. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And we'll see you in the next one.